listen, listen, God is calling through the word inviting, offering forgiveness, comfort and joy.
I'm Senator Tim Johnson.
And I'm Barb Johnson. The Evangelical Lutheran Church in America is at a crossroads, and South Dakota is leading the way to encourage the development of new pastors.
South Dakota Lutherans are seizing their opportunity for outreach and mission.
And we are proud to join the South Dakota Synod in this campaign.
The South Dakota Synod consists of 212 congregations, both large and small, proclaiming the good news of Jesus to every hungering soul in this ever-changing state. But as our large community congregations continue to grow, many small and medium-sized communities have dwindled in numbers.
We've got a lot of congregations out there that are without pastors. We have several retired pastors in our congregation. Every Sunday they are out filling pulpits somewhere.
So all these small churches really struggle. How can we support a pastor? How can we pay salary, take care of the pension, health benefits? How can we provide housing? We're 200 people, we're 300 people, and we just can't do that.
The South Dakota Synod continues to reach out to the Native American population by sharing compassion with all those who suffer and feeding all those whose bodies lack nourishment.
People come in off the streets, first and foremost hungry, and they serve 3 meals a week, about 200 people. At 52 weeks out of the year, that's about 10,000 people a year. Some of them are living in the homeless shelters.
People working to get back into the community. We get those people that nobody else would want.
Our vision for the South Dakota Synod is that all may be fed. So it's not just about food, it's also spiritually.
As Lutherans, we commit ourselves to seek out and befriend our neighbors. And as the demographics of our state continue to change, the South Dakota Synod has continued to expand its ministry to accommodate other cultures, such as the Hispanic community of Pueblo de Dios in Sioux Falls.
And I think for them to be in a new country, it must mean a lot that they can find other people who speak their language.
And if you go back in history, many of our congregations, worship was in Swedish, Norwegian, Danish, German, and it's important for them to have the opportunity to gather together with that cultural background.
From our Liberian community of faith that worships at First Lutheran to Woyatan and North Rapid, we have ethnic-specific ministries that will always need support from outside.
By the grace of God, our synod has been blessed to be the leader of the ELCA for encouraging folks to enter the seminary. But our current generation of leaders are beginning to retire, leaving vacancies in many of our South Dakota Lutheran congregations.
So how do you recruit, invite, and keep pastors to replace the folks that are retiring that have served very faithfully and very well? So I really am excited about the future. I think we're going to be able to get the job done, but it's a significant work to invite the leaders that we need for tomorrow.
The theme of this campaign is listen, God is calling, never be the same.
And our goal is $2.5 million in cash gifts over a 3 to 5 year period.
God is calling. God calls all of us. It doesn't matter if we're 2 or if we're 82 or somewhere in between. But what we know as Lutherans is that when we have been called, we are forever changed. And part of that change is how we help each other discern what we are going to do in the world.
One of those calls may be to the office of ordained ministry. For me, that happened when I was 8 years old.
I discerned my call by going to camp and learned what it meant to be a Christian leader.
Fell in love with outdoor ministry, working with youth, working with kids, and I said, I have no idea what I want to do. I'm going to go where the Spirit calls me.
I was not one of those people that knew right out of high school that I wanted to be a pastor.
And we need to encourage persons to consider pastoral ministry as a vocation.
I think it would be incredibly sad if some of these gifted individuals that are inspired to follow the ministry are not able to do that for financial reasons.
When I went to seminary, I could work in the summer for 3 months, and I could go back to school and pay my tuition. You can't do that anymore.
There was a time when it was inexpensive, but there was times that have gone away.
Seminary tuition was $200 a year. It's now over $15,000.
it can be tough. We have 6 figures of debt that my wife and I have to worry about before we even start a family. So there's definitely some concern there for us.
The Listen, God is Calling campaign has been designed to shore up more resources to increase seminary scholarships and debt reduction, so we can provide capable leaders for the South Dakota Lutheran churches of tomorrow.
Throughout my seminary years, the South Dakota Synod provided greatly.
So that financial help is deeply important. It has allowed me to take classes a little more quickly, to take 2 classes instead of 1 at a time, which will get me through significantly faster.
Knowing that the South Dakota Synod is supporting us, frees us to try new things, to preach the gospel without worrying about our paychecks.
It's definitely an encouragement for my wife and I to want to stay in the state and the Synod for a long while.
It has a huge impact. They appreciate the gift that's come to them. They tend to stay longer in their calls, and it provides them a way of living in those communities that sometimes can't pay quite as much as a metro area, and to be able to stay here.
The South Dakota Synod and the people that live here have gotten much more diverse culturally, age ranges. In so many ways, we're more diverse than we used to be.
We need to embrace these other cultures and be a part of their lives, helping them in any way we can.
At the end of Matthew, we hear this, go out into the world and baptize all nations. And it isn't baptize the people who are behaving well, and it isn't baptize just the cute little children, it's all nations.
How much more complete are we when we have people of other nationalities and other tongues, other backgrounds that can help add to that body and help us be so much more complete than we are?
We need that support. We need your prayers. We need your advice, and we need your economic support.
There isn't a person that couldn't help with this campaign or contribute in some way.
Some obviously are more capable than others, and those of us that are more capable should sacrifice and do more. But I think the real key here is equal sacrifice, not equal gifts. It's a matter of everybody doing what they can do. And if we all do that, then our prayers will be answered and we'll go over our goal.
We're looking for your support in every corner of South Dakota.
Your prayers and your offerings and your support to this campaign and to other pastors, it's a way of doing God's work with your hands and enabling them then to do God's work with their hands.
If you're passionate about your life with Christ, if you're passionate about the ministry of the church, then money will follow.
I think at the end of the day, what you hope is that the investments that we make will strengthen our synod, strengthen the church for service to mankind, to the citizens of our communities, to our state as a whole, to the kingdom of God.